Kylie Jenner just had a terrifying encounter with a stalker outside of her home, and sadly this is not the first time she or her family has had to deal with crazed fans invading their space. Early Sunday, an obsessed Kylie fan was arrested outside of her Beverly Hills home after the fan violated a restraining order that legally forced him to stay away from Kylie. The man's name is Jay Rumezgan, and paparazzi photos showed him being handcuffed and put in a police car. The man, who has visited her house several times, buzzed the gate at the front of her house. The security guard immediately knew who the man was and called the cops to assist. He was then arrested for violation of a court order, aka the restraining order, and is currently being held on a $20,000 bail according to TMZ. Apparently the man had been to Kylie's home multiple times over the last few months, hoping to see her, and she got police involved when she started to fear for her safety. This is not the first obsessed fan that Kylie's had to deal with. She's been the target of several obsessed fans over her years as an A-list star. Just earlier this month, another man was arrested for trespassing after he hopped a fence attempting to propose to her. The man thankfully did not end up getting access to Kylie's home, but he did end up getting access to her neighbor's home, where the man was able to knock on their front door. Super scary. The man arrived with flowers and wanted to profess his love, then proposed to Kylie. The man was ultimately arrested for misdemeanor trespassing and taken in for booking. But that's not all. Then in June of 2021, a third man was arrested after he also tried to profess his love to Kylie. According to TMZ, he was familiar to her security detailing, but cooperative in the past when asked to leave the property. But this time he was arrested because he refused to leave until he saw Kylie face to face. Kylie was apparently not home when this all took place. A fourth person was also arrested after he allegedly jumped Kylie's fence and set off fireworks. So it's clear that Kylie is unfortunately very familiar with these situations and has a large security detail because of it. Kylie's sister Kendall has also been a victim to similar incidents. Both Kylie and Kendall have a restraining order against another man who went to both of their homes in the same day. Back in March, this man was found swimming naked in Kendall's pool. He then went to Kylie's house where he was arrested and was told to stay 100 yards from both of them. That same month, Kendall was also granted a 5-year restraining order against another man who was believed by police to be driving across the country to kill her and then himself. These incidents have caused Kendall and Kylie to leave their homes on multiple occasions and up their security.
Kylie Jenner is probably going to have a difficult time getting to sleep after law enforcement officials recently said that an obsessed fan was planning on breaking into her home to propose to her. Although there was just one problem, he wasn't at the right home. I mean, she was just hanging out and almost got a surprise marriage proposal, but this fan missed the mark and police were able to intervene before he was able to realize this. On Thursday, the police got a report that the man had hopped a fence and knocked on a door looking for Kylie, only to realize that he was actually at her neighbor's home, which foiled his plans immediately. Police ended up speaking to the 23-year-old man who was carrying a bouquet of flowers, and without hesitation, he told them that he was there to profess his love for Kylie Jenner and then ask for her hand in marriage. Which, I mean, it sounds like he really thought this one through, but maybe next time he should probably check to see if the other person feels this way as well. Although the police were not going to take any chances just letting this guy go, even if he was only armed with flowers. They ended up arresting him for misdemeanor trespassing, and so he was brought into the station for booking. What's wild is that back in October, another fan is said to have actually set off fireworks near Kylie's home as well. Around 10 p.m. on a Wednesday, some man was reportedly buzzing her security button asking for Kylie, and then after security told him to leave the property, he initially did, but then he returned again shortly after, which is when he began setting off fireworks outside of the home and then actually jumping over her fence. However, police would arrive and stop this man before he was able to get past her security barricades. And according to inside sources, they claimed that this intruder kept grabbing for his pockets as if he was trying to show them that he had a weapon or something. Luckily, during the time of this incident, Kylie was not home. As per TMZ, the suspect was about 6'4" and 240 pounds, and he was said to have been carrying a hammer, rubber mallet, a lighter, and fireworks. And because of him setting off these fireworks right in front of her home, he apparently did about $1,200 in damage to Kylie Jenner's security gates, which meant that when the police came in to charge him, he was charged with felony vandalism and would be held on $20,000 bail. At this point, I would actually hope that the family is paying for extra security, because if you recall, Kim Kardashian also had a very obsessed fan who tried to marry her. Back in July, Kim was granted a 5-year permanent order of protection against a man named Nicholas Costanza. The fan not only showed up to her home on multiple occasions, but he also sent Kim a package that contained Plan B and a diamond ring. Luckily, that package was intercepted by Kim's security team, because Man, is that ever a weird and disturbing gift to open up. In her filing for the restraining order, Kim says the Costanza had shown up at her property a handful of times in 2021, as I mentioned earlier. This included once in February and then again in late May. He even tried to spring up at her gated community and tell the guards that he was there to pick her up for dinner. On top of being crazy in person, he was also crazy online. Kim says the Costanza had also been posting fake marriage certificates and other bizarre messages online, all of which alluded to her waiting for her knight in shining armor, which he later clarified was him. Now he has to stay at least 100 yards away from her and refrain from any contact whatsoever. Going back to Kylie Jenner though for a moment, she has still yet to post on her main Instagram page following the tragedy that took place at Travis Scott's Astroworld. However, her Kylie Cosmetics page is attempting to get back into their promotion routine, but the comment section is just not having it. I mean, she has people telling her to stop posting, people saying that they've thrown away their lip kits, and others calling to boycott both Travis and Kylie altogether.
Kylie Jenner is facing tons of backlash following the Travis Scott Astroworld Festival, where her and her sister Kendall were in attendance. Since then, people have been unearthing old Kylie scandals, and we're going to be listing them in this video. And at number 10, blackface. Accusations of cultural appropriation of the black community has surrounded the Kardashian family for years, and Kylie was at the center of that debate when she posted a photo in April 2015 where people think she was blackfishing, which is when a white person changes their race to appear black or mixed race. The photo is heavily edited, but in it her skin is incredibly dark. Tons of comments called Kylie out for the photo, claiming this was a form of blackface. Kylie posted a follow-up photo addressing the controversy, saying the photo looked darker because of the lighting, not because of dark makeup. She wrote, quote, "This is a black light and neon lights. People, let's all calm down." And at number 9, the hashtag Kylie Jenner challenge. Back in 2015, after Kylie got her lip filler, Kylie Jenner challenge was going viral online. Since fans wanted to get bigger lips like Kylie, they started sucking on shot glasses and other small objects to inflame their lips and make them look huge like Kylie's. Thankfully, I never actually did this one. I'm surprised I didn't try it, but I don't think I ever actually did it. The challenge caused some hilarious results, but also some serious injuries. Many people were bruised for days following the challenge, but others had more severe problems like popping blood vessels in their lips that required hospitalization. Kylie condemned the challenge, tweeting, quote, "I'm not here to try and encourage people/young girls to look like me or think this is the way they should look. I want to encourage people and young girls like me to be yourself and not be afraid to experiment with your look." But people still faulted Kylie for the injuries. In at number 8, cornrows. It seems that Kylie didn't learn her lesson with the blackfishing scandal, and the backlash against her got much worse in July of 2015 when she posted a photo wearing cornrows on Instagram. Many fans in the comments called her out for wearing the style. Hunger Games actress Amanda Stenberg shared her disappointment in the comments. Quote, "When you appropriate black features and culture but fail to use your position of power to help black Americans by directing attention towards your wigs instead of police brutality or racism." Kylie responded writing, quote, "Mad if I don't, mad if I do. Go hang with Jaden or something." Justin Bieber actually came to Kylie's defense here, but it created a huge scandal that got Kylie and the family a lot of heat. Detractors accused Kylie of appropriating black features and not recognizing the history associated with the hairstyle. And at number 7, vintage t-shirts. This scandal happened in 2017 when Kendall and Kylie launched a line of rap versus rock fashion tees as part of their Kendall and Kylie collection. The distressed faded shirts featured superimposed images of the sisters' faces over famous musicians like Tupac, The Doors, Biggie Smalls, and Ozzy Osbourne. Fans immediately called the shirts disrespectful, especially since the sisters were using images of deceased artists. Two of the more talked about t-shirts featured the faces of Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. Even Biggie's mom got involved, calling the concept, quote, "disgusting" and disrespectful. His estate also sent a cease and desist letter. Photographer Michael Miller, who took the image of Tupac that appeared on one of the shirts, later sued Kendall and Kylie, accusing them of using the image without his permission. The sisters removed the shirts days after the release and apologized for offending fans of the artists. And at number 6, plastic surgery denial. At this point, it's pretty obvious that Kylie has changed her looks through cosmetic enhancements, but she won't own up to anything other than her incredibly obvious lip filler. In 2015, after a shocking change in her appearance, it was speculated that she received lip fillers. But for months after, she denied the rumors and said that her full lips were a result of a lip liner. But after she could no longer deny it, she fessed up to the fillers in an interview. She told ABC News, quote, "It's just an insecurity of mine and that's what I wanted to do." She admitted the insecurity stemmed from a boy telling her lips were too small to kiss. Khloe said in an episode of the show about Kylie's lips, quote, "Kylie decided to plump her lips and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think if you've done something though, it's right to cop up to it." It's been speculated that Kylie's had a number of other procedures done, but she hasn't admitted to anything else. Halfway number 5, lied about being a billionaire. Kylie Jenner became a household name after she was labeled the world's youngest self-made billionaire in 2019, beating up Mark Zuckerberg. This label was given by Forbes, who had looked over her finances and determined she was a billionaire. But less than a year after the company gave her the insane title, they actually walked it back and claimed the Kardashians duped Forbes into giving her the label when she wasn't actually a billionaire at the time. Forbes said Kylie had been, quote, inflating the size and success of her business for years. Apparently, it was exposed when Cody bought a portion of Kylie's company, and all the business documents were made public, and the official one showed a lower net worth for the brand. In reality, it said that Jenner's net worth at the time was likely, quote, just under $900 million, but it has since fallen to around $700 million. And at number 4, fake face wash. While Kylie was first promoting Kylie's Skin, she got a ton of heat for a super cringy video of her washing her face. Firstly, she used a filter while washing, which doesn't let us see how the product actually works. Then she only used the face wash for about 5 seconds maximum before scrubbing off her makeup with a towel. Worst of all, we get a quick glimpse of the towel after, and it's covered in foundation. So clearly it didn't even work to take the makeup off. One comment on the post read, quote, she washed her face for literally seconds and her foundation was all over the towel. If I did that, my acne would be poppin'. And at number 3, Kylie Minogue. Before Kylie Jenner, Kylie Minogue was the most famous Kylie. The Australian pop star shaded Kylie Jenner when Kylie tried to trademark their first name. According to the US Patent and Trademark Office, in 2015 Jenner tried to register Kylie in the US for advertising services and endorsement services, but Kylie Minogue's team filed their own charges to ensure the trademark did not go through. Minogue claimed it would damage her own reputation. In the legal documents, Minogue's team classified Jenner as a, quote, secondary reality television personality, known for her, quote, photographic exhibitionism and controversial posts on social media. Then Kylie Minogue tweeted, quote, hello, my name is Kylie, hashtag light years, insinuating she was here way before Jenner. And at number 2, betrayed Kanye. When Kanye was first launching his Yeezy brand with Adidas, he used Kylie in his fashion show to promote the shoes, along with the rest of the Kardashian clan. But then Puma snagged Kylie for their new shoe line, which was a conflict of interest because Puma is a rival to Adidas. In an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kim said, quote, Kanye had Kylie walk in his first 2 Adidas shows. He really believed in her as part of his brand. I feel like this was a conflict of interest. Kylie ended up going forward with the Puma deal and apparently made a cool 7 figures, but she lost the trust and respect of Kanye. Before Kylie officially signed the deal, Kanye made a fool of himself on Twitter, saying that there was no way that Kylie would take the deal and betray his family. Sure, he regretted that after. And finally, number 1, Lourdes Leon. Lourdes Leon, daughter of Madonna, dissed Kylie after Lourdes was invited to a party that she was throwing. Apparently, Lourdes shaded Kylie over her social media activity and selfie taking. After Lourdes received the invite, the source revealed, quote, she couldn't believe Kylie thought that she'd be receptive to a party invite and has completely ignored her. As far as Lourdes is concerned, she's not going to lower herself to even responding, adding that Lourdes is very picky about who she spends time with and Kylie doesn't make the cut. The source added that her friends are, quote, much more interested in changing the world than in taking selfies. This was a few years ago, so I wonder if her opinions have changed, but it's very embarrassing to say the least. The situation around Travis Scott and his tragic Astroworld festival is causing the Kardashian family to distance themselves from the rapper, and it's been reported that he was cut from their upcoming Hulu show because of the festival. As we already know, Keeping Up with the Kardashians on E! Officially ended in 2020, but the family is not done with reality TV, and they announced shortly after that they are working to continue making content on Hulu in the form of a new reality show. The sisters have been filming for months and hope to air the show as soon as possible, but the recent tragedy has caused the family to rethink the inclusion of Travis Scott. A source told Radar Online, quote, cameras have been rolling for months. They have filmed Kourtney's engagement and Kim's flirting with Pete Davidson, as well as Kylie's big pregnancy announcement. However, after the disaster at the concert, where Kylie and Kendall were both backstage, footage of Travis is being edited out of the show. The source continued that this investigation could go on for a long time, and we're not sure what the outcome will be, so quote, this is the last thing the Kardashians want to be talking about when they return to TV. The insider stressed that the Kardashians will not be delaying the show as of now, but there will be big changes made. Kylie's second pregnancy with Travis was going to be a major storyline on the show, so this is going to put a big wrench into production because of course that storyline is now going to be minimized. The source continued, quote, the entire family has been sucked into this disaster now. But apparently a rep for the Kardashian show denies these claims, commenting, quote, this story is absolutely false. Travis has actually not yet been filmed. Since Travis has not been featured on the show much in the past, I wouldn't be surprised if that actually was true. As for who is coming back to the show, sources report the entire Kardashian clan will be featured, including longtime addition to the show, Scott Disick. Scott was apparently not planning to work on the show, but a source told Us Weekly that he was offered an outrageous amount of money to be featured. Following the Astroworld tragedy, Travis has been slapped with over 15 lawsuits, with more being filed by the day. He and the event planners are being blamed for the lack of security and safety at the festival. Travis has vowed to pay for the funeral expenses of the deceased, which is now 9 people. Keeping Up with the Kardashians ended in September of 2020, and the family hopes to release their new Hulu show in early 2022. Khloe told Ellen on her show that they think it could be as early as January or February. The family has not yet revealed the title or format of the show, but Kim revealed that they want to reveal more about their business side rather than just family drama, with Kris adding that this show is their next chapter.